Hi guys! Good day! Welcome to our channel. Today, I'm happy to share with you our first ever video lecture on taxation. Particularly, we will be discussing about the differences of VAT and income tax. Also, on the later part of this video, we will share to you some tips on how to save money on taxes, especially VAT and income taxes, on a legal basis. I hope that you learn a lot and I really hope that you subscribe on this channel. If you know someone you think who need to see this video, please share it with them. So without further ado, let's dive into our lesson. Okay, so the topics that we will discuss are the following. By the way, gawin lang nating light yung discussion and para lang tayong nagkikwentuhan kasi we all know that taxation and accounting are two boring subjects. So anyway, number one, we will answer how would you know if your business is subject to VAT and income tax? Ito mostly yung questions ng mga business owners eh. Paano ko ba malaman kung vatable yung company ko or subject ako sa VAT and subject din ako sa income tax? So yung question number 2 would be, what are the differences of VAT and income tax? Ano ba yung pinagkaiba nila? Kailan nagsasubmit ng returns? Ano yung tax rate na gagamitin? Paano nako-compute yung VAT at saka income tax? And many others. Number 3, as I have mentioned, we will share to you some tips on how to save on VAT legally. And number 4, how to save on income tax legally. So, itong 4 na question na to, ito yung focus topic natin. Okay, so let's start with question number 1. So, how would you know if your business is subject to VAT and income tax? The best way is to look at your certificate of registration, which is the BIR Form 2303. So, this one is your example. This certificate of registration was issued by the BIR when you registered with them. So, take a look at your tax type. You should see income tax and VAT. Kung meron ka nito sa iyong tax type, definitely you are subject to VAT and income tax. Eh, sir, paano kung walang VAT doon sa aking certificate of registration? Pwede bang subject pa rin ako sa VAT? Yes, you may be subjected to VAT provided you meet these other criteria. Okay, so number 1, your sales exceeds, okay, the 3 million threshold. You are subject to VAT na kahit wala pa yun sa iyong certificate of registration. Dapat i-update mo na agad ang iyong registration with the BIR or else kapag na-audit ka nila, kapag na-letter ka nila, you will be assessed of your deficiency from not paying VAT, as well as i-charge ka pa nila ng surcharges, interest, and compromise. So, medyo malaking penalty yung pag-uusapan natin. Also, kung 3 million yung sales mo or above 3 million pesos, dapat hindi ka qualified doon sa mga VAT-exempt transactions. Okay? Yung VAT-exempt transactions, makikita mo yan sa Section 109. So, we will not discuss those. Ang pinag-uusapan natin dito ay yung mga negosyante or negosyo na subject sa VAT at saka income tax. Pero kung gusto mo malaman ano-ano ba yung mga VAT-exempt transaction, just look at the Section 109. Okay, also, another criteria, so above 3 million ka na, hindi VAT-exempt yung transaction mo, and dapat hindi rin subject siya sa other percentage taxes. So, sir, ano yung mga other percentage taxes? Okay, take a look at Section 117 hanggang 127. Okay, nandun yung mga transactions na kung saan subject sila sa other percentage taxes. Therefore, kung subject sa other percentage tax yan, or VAT exempt yung transaction mo, hindi ka vatable. So again, ang pinag-uusapan lang natin dito ay yung mga companies na subject to VAT. So another criteria for income taxation, dapat hindi ka pasok dun sa income tax exempt company. Okay, kung gusto mo malaman kung ikaw ay income tax exempt, check Section 30 of the Tax Code. Again, hindi natin i-cover yung mga transactions na VAT exempt, transactions na subject to other percentage tax, and companies that are income tax exempt. Okay, ang i-cover po natin sa lesson na ito are those companies na subject sa VAT and income tax. Let's move forward to our second question. What are the differences of VAT and income tax in terms of the following? First, we will discuss their differences in terms of their definition. Okay? I-define natin ano ba yung VAT and ano ba yung income tax. And letter B, the tax base. Anong amount yung subject to VAT at saka anong amount naman yung subject to tax sa income tax. Letter C, tax burden. Sino yung nagbabayad ng VAT? Si seller ba o si customer? Sino naman ang nagbabayad ng income tax? Si seller ba o si customer? So letter D, ano yung tax rate ng VAT? So generally aware naman tayo that the tax rate of VAT is, di ba, 12%. And ano naman ang tax rate na ginagamit sa income tax? Letter E, magbibigay tayo ng examples kung paano nako-compute yung VAT at saka example kung paano naman nagko-compute ng income tax. Okay, and letter D, aalamin natin what are the deadline, ano yung deadline ng filing ng VAT, meron ba tong monthly, may quarterly ba siya, at saka kailan din nagbabayad. Also, titingnan natin ano naman yung deadlines ng income tax, meron ba siyang quarterly at saka annual. And letter G, anong form or anong document yung ginagamit para makapag-comply tayo with the BIR. Okay, so let's discuss the first difference in terms of definition. What is VAT? Okay, according to tax code, VAT is a value added, is a form of sales tax. Ano pong ibig sabihin nun? Sales tax, meaning every sales, meron pong tax. Every benta, merong value added tax. Okay, tingnan natin yung example dito sa 7-Eleven. Bumili ako kay 7-Eleven ng pagkain ng isang araw worth 415 pesos. So, yun yung total kong babayaran sa kanya. Doon sa 415 na yun po, meron na po dong VAT. Kasama na doon. Ito yung breakdown niya. Yung sales niya is 370, yung VAT niya is 44 pesos. So, paano siya na-compute? Ganito siya. Yung sales is 370 multiplied by 12% na VAT, that is 44 pesos. Kaya yung total kong binayaran kay 7-Eleven is 415. Okay? Again, VAT is a sales tax. Every benta, mayroon pong VAT. Okay? So, it is also a form of consumption tax. Di ba, pag may benta, may consumer. Kaya consumption tax siya. Every time na may magko-consume, doon sa selling price, nagpapatong tayo ng 12% na VAT. For every sale, barter exchange, nagparenta ka ng property, or nag-provide ka ng service kung ikaw ay doktor, professional, barbershop, etc. Or kung ikaw ay nag-import ng goods sa Pilipinas. Okay? Also, it is an indirect tax. Okay, bakit po siya tinawag na indirect tax? Kasi po, kaya siya indirect tax kasi pwede siyang ipasa ni seller doon sa mga bumibili. Actually, ang may liability sa VAT ay si seller. Kasi kung hindi niya ipasa ito, magbabayad siya ng 12% na VAT kay BIR. Pero according sa tax code, allowed siya na ipasa ito sa mga buyer. Kaya tumataas yung presyo ng bilihin because of tax. So, meaning, pag po tumaas ang tax rate natin, tataas din ang ating presyo ng bilihin. Sabi dito, it is an indirect tax, which may be shifted, pwedeng ipasa, or pass on to the buyer, transferee, etc., etc. So, technically, again, VAT is a sales tax. Every sales, merong VAT. Okay? Every consumption, merong VAT. Sinong may liability sa VAT? Si seller. Pero, this is an indirect tax which can be shifted or passed on to the buyer. So, let's define naman what is income tax. Okay? Income tax is a tax on person's income. Remember po, di ba si 7-Eleven, 415 yung binayaran ko sa kanya. Kung babalikan natin dito, 415 pesos. Yung VAT, 44, i-remit niya po yan kay BIR. Okay, itong 44. Ngayon, itong sales niya, 370 pesos lang. Ang benta talaga niya, 370 lang. Ngayon, yung pong sales niya, hindi pa yan po yung kanyang pinaka-income or profit kasi may puhunan pa yan. Diba, may mga products pa siyang binili. So, yun yung cost ng purchases niya, yung cost of products niya. May puhunan pa yun. Tapos, meron pang kuryente, meron pang bayad sa tubig, meron pang franchise fee, meron pang pasweldo. Hindi pa yan yung kinita niya. Yan pa lang yung sales niya. Ngayon, yung income tax is a tax on person's income. Sabi dito, every time na meron kang conduct of trade or business, yung gross income mo, okay, yung gross income, yung pinagsama-samang benta, kunyari, umabot ng 3 million yung sales ni 7-Eleven, ibabawas mo pa daw po dun yung mga deductions. Ano yung mga deductions na pwede mong ibawas? Yun nga, tulad nung sinabi ko kanina, yung mga puhunan mo dun sa products, yung binayad mo sa kuryente, sa tubig, sa pasweldo, pwede mong ibawas. For example, take a look at this. Let's say, ang pinagsama-samang income ni 7-Eleven is 3 million pesos. Lahat ng sales niya, 3 million. And lahat ng kanyang deductions ay 2.5. Ano-ano po yung deductions? Ito po yung cost ng product, yung bayad sa kuryente, tubig, pasweldo, etc. At ang natitira na lang sa kanya is 500,000 pesos. So therefore, ang net income ni 7-Eleven is 500,000 pesos. Meaning, ang subject sa income tax, the 500,000. Ang subject naman po sa VAT is the 3 million pesos. So, yan po yung difference nilang dalawa. Kaya mayroon tayong dalawang liability. Number 1, VAT based on your sales. And number 2, income tax based on your net income. I hope malinaw po. And to give you examples of, ano-ano ba yung mga examples of our gross income and deductions according to our tax code. Ito po siya. So, sa ating section 32, nagbigay siya ng mga ilang examples. So, sabi ng tax code, gross income means all income derived from whatever source, including but not limited to the following items. So, meaning, examples lang po ito. Ano pong ibig sabihin nun? Ang gusto kong i-emphasize dito, yung ating mga online sellers, okay, mga YouTubers, mga streamers, mga vloggers po, subject na po yun talaga sa income tax dahil, sabi sa ating tax code, gross income means all income derived from whatever source. Here are some examples naman po of your deductions. Makikita nyo po dito, may examples tayo na tulad ng salary. Ayan, pwede nyo pong ibawas yung sweldo. Yung mga employer share sa SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig. Kung meron kayong mga travel and transportation, katulad ng gas, pamasahe, pwede nyo ibawas yon. Yung mga bayad nyo sa mga professionals, katulad ng accountant, pwede nyo ring ibawas yon sa inyong gross income. So, kaya siya tinawag na deduction from gross income para maging maliit yung ating net income. Take note na dapat valid lahat po yung iyong mga deductions. Paano po natin malalaman na valid yung mga deductions? Unang-una, kailangan meron kang supporting na resibo. Pangalawa naman, kung required ka na mag-withheld doon sa mga binayad mo na yon, kailangan nakapag-withheld ka. Pangatlo, kung kailan mo siya nagastos, dapat yung taon na yun mo siya i-claim as expense mo. So, ito po yung mga examples lang naman ng ating gross income at saka ng ating deductions from gross income. Let's now discuss difference number 2. Ano po yung basis or tax base ng computation ng VAT at saka ng income tax? For VAT, ang tinatax po natin doon ay yung iyong gross sales or gross receipts. Sa income tax naman, ang tinatax naman po natin doon ay yung net income. Okay, so ito po yung illustration niya. So, for VAT purposes, halimbawa, meron kang sales na 3 million, ang itatax po dyan yung 3M. For income tax purposes, halimbawa, meron kang deduction na 2.5 million. Ang itatax naman po dyan ay yung net income mo na 500,000. Next, tax burden. Sinong magbabayad ng VAT at sino naman ang magbabayad ng income tax? For VAT, ang dapat pong magbayad talaga dito is the business owner. Siya po yung sole liable. Pero according sa tax code, it can be shifted or passed on to the buyer. Sabihin, pwede niyang ipasa. Kunyari, ang benta lang talaga niya is 100 pesos. Okay? Kung hindi niya ipapasa yon, magbabayad siya kay BIR ng 12. Pero, kung ipapasa naman niya yon, yung benta niya, magiging 112 pesos. Sisingilin niya ngayon si customer ng 112 pesos. So, pwede po yun. Yung 12 naman, i-remit na niya directly kay BIR. On the other hand, pagdating naman po sa income tax, ang sole liable po nito is the business owner. Hindi niya po pwedeng ipasa yung kanyang income tax liability sa kanyang mga customers. Again, sino po ang may burden sa VAT? Si business owner. Pwede niyang ipasa kay customer. Kaya yung presyo ng bilihin tumataas. Next, sino naman po ang may liability sa income tax? Si business owner. At hindi niya po ito pwedeng ipasa kay customers. Okay? Let's move to difference in tax rate. Okay? For VAT, okay, generally po, ang tax rate ng VAT ay 12%. Okay? So, ito yung sa VAT. 12%. So, kung meron kang selling price sa 100 pesos, plus 12%, kaya magiging 112 na siya. For income tax, may dalawa tayong classification. One for individual, which is ranging from 0% hanggang 35%. Depende sa net income. Kung ang net income mo is 250,000, zero yung tax rate. Pero kung ang net income mo naman is 8 million or pataas, ang tax rate mo doon is 2.41 million or 2,410,000 muna plus 35% of the excess over 8 million. So, halimbawa, 8.5 million yung net income mo. So, doon sa first 8 million, meron kang 2,410,000. And then, yung 500,000 naman, yung lalampas sa 8 million, subject naman siya sa 35% na rate. Okay, so yun po, medyo malaki yung tax rate ng individual. Ito yung mga sole proprietor. For non-individual naman, ito yung mga corporation, flat rate po sila na 30%. So, halimbawa, ang net income ni corporation is 8 million, multiply lang natin siya by 30%. Okay po? So, I hope maliwanag po yung difference nila in terms of tax rate. For VAT, 12%. For income tax, depende. Individual ka ba? 0 to 35%. Non-individual ka ba? Flat rate na 30% of your net income. Remember. Okay, so let's give some example. For example, you have 3 million na sales. Let's say si 7-Eleven, may 3 million siya na sales. Yung business mo na milk tea shop, may 3 million na sales. Ikaw ay practicing accountant, may 3 million ka na sales. Or marketing services, may 3 million ka na sales. Multiply that by 12%. The VAT should be 360,000. Other term din dito is output VAT. So, itong 360,000 na yan, hindi mo na pera yan. Pero siningil mo rin yan kay customers. Okay, so in total mo na siningil sa kanya is 3,360,000. So, yung 360,000, parang pinahawak lang siya sa'yo ng customer mo. Tapos, i-remit mo siya ngayon kay BIR. Medyo simple lang yung computation ng VAT. Okay, straightforward siya. So, sales multiply by the tax rate of 12%. So, that is 360,000 output VAT. Next, income tax computation. So, meron tayo ditong individual. Same example as before. For example, yung 3 million mo na sales or gross income and meron kang cost and expenses na 2.5 million. And take note ha, dapat yung 2.5 million mo dito ay meron kang mga supporting na mga resibo, ganyan. Kung required ka mag-withheld, dapat nakapag-withheld ka. At saka dapat pasok siya dun sa taon kung kailan mo siya kiniklaim as deduction. Okay, so the net income is for 500,000 pesos. Okay, so paano po nagko-compute ng income tax? So ganito siya. Tingnan natin yung bracket. Yung 500,000, pumasok po siya dun sa bracket na, okay, dito po. Yan, sa 400 to 800,000. Okay, sabi dito, yung first 400,000 ay, ang tax po niyan is 30K. Okay, ito siya. The first 400,000, the tax is 30,000 pesos. Okay, plus 25% of the excess over 400K. Meaning, yung lahat ng lalampas sa 400,000, i-multiply mo siya sa 25%. Okay, question, magkano ba yung net income mo? 500. Okay, magkano yung lampas sa 400? Di 100,000. Multiply mo siya by 25%. So, 100,000 times 25%, that is 25K. So, add mo yung dalawa, 30,000 plus 25, income tax due is 55,000 pesos. So, yan yung iyong tax due. Ngayon, kung merong mga companies na nag-withhold sa'yo using the 2307, I'm sure yung mga business owner dito, nakaka-receive kayo ng mga 2307. Huwag nyo pong itatapon yan. Itabi nyo po kasi pera po yan. Pwede mo siyang gamitin as a deduction doon sa inyong tax due. Gamitin po natin siya. Okay? So, kung merong withholding tax, using the 2307 na form, kung meron, ibawas po natin sa tax due natin. Pero kung wala, zero lang. And then, kung may binayaran tayo ng taxes nung previous quarter, ibawas din natin yun. Our income tax payable in this scenario is 55,000 pesos. So, yan po yung income tax payable mo bilang individual. Paano kung ikaw naman si corporation? Ganito naman po yung computation niya. Same din, 3 million yung sales, 2.5 million yung cost mo, net income mo is 500,000. Just multiply it by 30% and then that's it. Straightforward din siya. 30% multiply by the net income, that is your tax due. Again, kung naka-receive ka po ng 2307 from your clients, from your customers. Kasi bago kanila bayaran, minsan, nagwi-withhold sila ng tax doon. So, kung meron kang na-receive na 2307, okay, gamitin mo po yun kasi pera yun. Okay? Para mabawasan yung iyong income tax due. Next, kung meron kang payments nung previous quarter, ibawas mo din siya. Pero kung wala naman, your tax payable is 150,000. Okay, so ito yung difference niya. 3 million yung sales, gross income, less cost na 2.5, net income mo. So, meaning, si individual at saka si corporation, parehas na 500K ang kanilang net income. Pero for purposes of income taxation, mas malaki nga lang yung babayaran ni corporation kasi ang liability ni corporation ay 150K. On the other hand, si individual, ang liability lang niya is 55,000. So that's how you compute your income tax. Okay, next. Kailan po nagpa-file at saka nagbabayad? Ano yung deadline? So ito po for income tax, we have 4 deadlines. First quarter, second quarter, and third quarter. Also, we have annual. So, for income tax, meron tayong 4 na deadlines. Meron tayong May 15 for individuals, August 15, November 15, at saka April 15 of the following year. This is for individual. On the other hand, for corporation naman, 60 days po siya after the end of the quarter. And then, same sila ng annual. For income tax purposes, meron po tayong 4 na deadlines. Okay? On the other hand, for VAT purposes, meron naman tayong 12. 1 to 12. Meron tayong January, February, first quarter, April, May, second quarter, July, August, third quarter, October, November, and then fourth quarter. So, these are your deadlines. So, 20th of the month at saka 25th after the end of the quarter. So, sa VAT, may 12. Sa income tax, meron naman pong 4. Okay? Ano po yung BIR form na ginagamit? For income tax, gumagamit po tayo ng 1701Q kapag quarterly. Gumagamit naman tayo ng 1701 kapag annual. Samantalang sa VAT, gumagamit po tayo ng 2550M kapag monthly, gumagamit naman tayo ng 2550Q kapag quarterly. Okay. Again, ang purpose lang po nito para malaman niyo kung ano yung frequency. Sa income tax, 4. Sa VAT, 12. So, ito yung mga examples ng ating mga tax returns. So, ito po yung ginagamit natin sa VAT, 2550M every month. Kapag naman quarterly, 2550Q. Okay. For income tax naman, ginagamit natin is 1701Q for quarterly. Gumagamit naman tayo ng 1701 or 1701A for annual. Okay, this is for individuals. Next. So, for corporation naman, 1702Q and 1702R. So, let's now move forward dun sa ating last topic. Paano tayo makatipid naman sa tax? Kasi baka isipin mo, sir, ba't ang laki masyado? 360,000 dun sa VAT, pabayaran ko. Tapos, doon naman sa income tax ko, 55,000. Pag sole proprietor ako. Pag naman yung corporation, 150,000. Ang laki naman masyado ng VAT na, may income tax pa. Paano ako makatipid? For VAT, okay. Balikan lang natin yung kanina. Di ba may 3 million kang sales? And then, 12% yung VAT doon, kaya 360,000. Kinolect mo ngayon kay customer mo yan. Kaya ang total na naging collection mo kay customer is 3,360,000 pesos. Okay. Pwede bang yung 360, hindi ko i-remit lahat kay BIR? Pwede po, provided doon sa iyong mga purchases, mga pinapamili mo, binabayaran mong mga cost and expenses, ay subject din siya sa VAT. For example, for simplicity, kanina, di ba, may deduction ka na 2.5. Halimbawa, yung 2.5 na yon, may VAT ka din na binayaran. Okay, di ba, mga supplier mo, may VAT ka na binayaran sa mga pinamili mo. Ang tawag po doon, input VAT. So, that is 300,000. So, 2.5 multiplied by 12%, that is 300,000. Kaya, ang total mong binayaran, total payments, is 2.8. Okay, pero ang cost mo lang talaga doon is 2.5. Ngayon, yung 300,000, pwede mo siya ngayon i-claim as input VAT. So, ito po yung computation niya. So, you collected 360 kay customer, you paid 300,000 input VAT naman sa mga suppliers mo, kaya ang VAT payable mo na lang is 60,000 pesos. Kaya po napaka-importante, you keep official receipts and sales invoice from your expenses or from your purchases so you can claim input VAT. So, yun po napaka-importante. I-keep nyo po yung lahat ng mga resibo na pinamili niyo. Tignan po ninyo kung merong VAT doon. Kasi yung VAT na yon, pwede mong i-claim yung input VAT doon. Instead na bayaran mo yung buong 360, ang babayaran mo na lang kay BIR is 60,000 pesos. Okay, so next. Paano naman po tayo makatipid or makasave ng tax doon sa ating income tax? Okay, for this discussion, meron tayong i-discuss na dalawang type of deduction. Remember dun sa ating cost and expenses. Okay, kanina 2.5. Okay, so ito rin po yung computation natin kanina, yung 55,000. Okay, so may dalawa po tayong deduction. Either itemized or optional standard deduction. Okay, so yung 2.5, dapat po suportado ito ng mga resibo mo. Sir, paano kung wala akong maitabing resibo? E di hindi ko pwedeng i-claim yung mga binayaran ko. Opo, hindi mo pwedeng i-claim yon kasi wala kang mga support documents na nagbayad ka nun. Ngayon, kung wala ka pong support documents, may optional ka na for deduction, 40% of your gross income, gross sales or receipts. So, fix po siya 40%. So, that is 3 million multiplied by 40%, that is 1.2 million. Okay? Again, kung wala kang support, kunyari, wala kang supporting documents ng iyong cost, may option ka. Gamitin mo yung OSD na 40%. Kaya ang magiging net income mo dito is 1.8 million. Yun nga lang, medyo magiging mataas yung net income mo kasi hanggang 40% lang yung pwede mong ibawas. And for computation purposes, your tax due is 430,000. Medyo malaki siya. Kung meron kang mga expenses or resibo na maitatabi, itabi mo siya. Hanggat maaari, gamitin natin siya para lumiit yung net income, para lumiit din ang iyong income tax payable. Pero kung wala ka nun maitatabi, gumamit tayo ng 40%. At least, may ibabawas ka. Okay? So, for this case, using itemized deduction is more favorable. Mas makakapabor po tayo dito. Provided all of our costs and expenses ay merong valid official receipts and invoice. Next. Ito naman yung another example na kung saan mas pabor ang paggamit ng optional standard deduction kaysa sa itemized. For example, sir, paano yun? Yung mga resibo ko, umabot lang ako ng 500k. Konti lang yung resibo na naitabi ko. So, sa ganitong case, mas makakabuti kung gagamitin mo yung optional na 40%. Kasi sa optional na 40%, 1.2 million na agad yung deduction na pwede mong i-claim. Unlike dito, na 500,000 lang yung pwede mong i-claim kasi yun lang yung meron ka. Okay? Pero take note po ha, yung pagpili niyan, pwede every year papalit. Pero pinipili siya during the first quarter of your income tax deadline. Okay? So, kailangan dun sa unang quarter mo, pinili mo na ano bang pipili mo, itemized or optional standard deduction. Pag-iisipan mo mabuti, alin ba mas makakapabor ka doon sa itemized or optional standard deduction? Kung mas marami ka ng mga resibo na maitatabi, mas makakabuti, gumamit ka ng itemized. Pero kung konti lang yung resibo na maitatabi mo, mas makakabuti, gumamit ka ng optional standard deduction. Yan. Okay po, so yan yung how to save on income tax. Let's take a look at summary items. Okay. So, ang nature po ng ating VAT is tax on consumption. Every benta, every consumption may tax. Samantalang sa ating income tax, tax po siya sa ating kinita, yung net income mo na. Okay? Tax burden po, burden nito, si seller pa rin, pero pwede niyang ipasa kay customer. Samantalang sa income tax, ang may burden po talaga nun is the business owner. Okay? For tax base, ang tinatax po natin sa VAT ay yung sales, or receipt. Sa income tax, ang tinatax naman natin dito yung net income mo. For tax rate, sa VAT, 12%. Sa income tax naman, 0 to 35% kapag individual ka, 30% naman pag ikaw ay corporation, partnership, etc. Sa computation, sa VAT, straightforward siya, gross sales or receipt multiply by 12%. Sa income tax naman, ibawas mo muna yung expenses mo o yung deduction. Then net income multiply by the tax applicable tax rate. Depende kung individual or non-individual ka. Okay, for deadline, sa VAT, meron tayong monthly, meron tayong quarterly. Sa income tax, quarterly lang at saka isang annual. So may May 15, August 15, November 15, April 15. For non-individual, 60 days, end of the quarter. So, for tax returns, ito po yung ginagamit natin sa VAT, 2550M, tsaka 2550Q. For income tax, we have 1701Q, 1701, okay, 1702. So, anyway, yan yung ating ginagamit na forms. How to save from VAT? Claim input VAT. Okay, how to save naman income tax? Choose itemize if you have many valid expenses. Kung marami kang expenses, gamitin mo itemize. Kung wala kang expenses, gamitin mo naman yung optional standard na 40%. I think that's the end of this discussion. At kung meron kayong mga gustong linawin, please comment your question down below para sa ating mga susunod na discussion ay susubukan po natin siyang sagutan. So, thank you so much po sa inyong pakikinig and I hope you learn a lot. Please share it to your friends or kung may mga kakilala kang negosyante na maaaring mag-benefit sa discussion na ito. See you on our next video on taxation. Okay po, bye-bye!